Do you think that women should carry leadership positions?
No.
Why not?
The answer is not why not. The answer is why would they?
Yeah.
Don't say why not. What is one benefit of women being in leadership positions? There's no benefit.
But women are advocating for equal.
Women who are not smart are advocating for equal.
Why you say that?
Smart women are not doing that. Because women, and this is why we can't be trusted, honestly. Because
women can't be trusted?
Women cannot be trusted. We need rules. We need guidelines. We need a procedure. Don't just give us space talking about go be the leader. That's probably the worst thing you could do for a woman. It's just too much. It's just too much. We can't handle that. So my thing is, women just hear, I want to be the leader. And all they think about is the glamorous part of it.
Yeah.
Not understanding when things go bad, the leader go down with the ship, the captain go down with the ship. So women, the reason why women can't be trusted as leaders because they only want the fun parts of leadership.
Yeah.
They want the attention. It's really a desire for adoration. They want the adoration of being the leader, but they don't want the consequence of it's your fault when this go left. That's the part they don't want. You know, I find that masculine men, you almost have to force them to not blame themselves. Masculine men blame themselves for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? When something go left, he gonna be like, that was me. And you be like, it really wasn't you. He gonna take the blame. Women don't go that way. They want to lead. And then when it go left, say, but it wasn't me. No, it was you because you're leader.
Ladies, I know y'all are going to get mad at what she said, but it's the 1000% honest truth. You ladies don't want leadership. You just want to skip around and dance around and tell everybody, I'm a boss, I'm the leader. And usually you're not the boss of anything. You just got some money because you got a good job and you have a boss. See, a boss or a leader leads groups of people. If you just think about the typical woman, or including you, when your own life starts to go down the toilet, what do you do just as an individual? Forget about being a boss. What do you do when things get hard for you? You catastrophize. You start getting all upset. You start feeling inadequate, feeling less than. I'm not enough, right? Like, do you really want the leader of a group of people or the leader of a Fortune 500 company thinking they're not enough? So the capability is there, but the capacity isn't. Think about what I just said. You have the capability, but not the capacity, the mental capacity to deal with that much pressure. You're not necessarily built to do that. See, the typical woman, she is going to find somebody to blame for whatever is going on in her life. If her relationship messes up, no matter what she did, she's going to say the man did it. And this is almost any situation. And going back to the catastrophizing, women make things 1,000% worse than they actually are. I've seen plenty of women get upset simply because it's raining. You ever seen a woman notice that it starts raining? Like, you know, everything is nice and next thing you know, it's pouring down raining. The woman is literally like, oh my God, it's raining. I can't believe this. And she gets all upset and starts catastrophizing everything. So if you as a woman, you can't even deal with it raining, you actually think somebody wants you dealing with a squad or a coalition of people that you are in charge of? When things go bad, what does a typical woman do? She cries. She feels sorry for herself. She starts feeling unworthy or inadequate. She starts being the victim of the problem. She starts to complain instead of coming up with solutions. And like I said, you catastrophize. You literally make the thing that is going wrong worse than it actually is. And you got to tell somebody. So women want the fun parts of leadership, like children. You know, if you give a child dominion over another kid, that kid is going to treat that other kid like crap. If you try to tell the kid like, okay, you're in charge, you're going to do this, that child is actually going to overstep boundaries and start yelling at other kids because it feels good to be a leader. But the second something goes wrong to the situation and you come back and stuff is all over the place and you go to that child and say, hey, you are in charge. What is the first thing that child or woman going to do? He did it. Well, she did it. If he didn't do this, it wouldn't have been like this. They're literally going to blame everybody in the room except for themselves. So who in the world wants a leader that's going to start blaming their employees or blaming the people that they're leading when you're the leader? And you turn around and say, no, you're the leader. You're in charge. But I couldn't have did it because of this and that. Then they're going to justify why it's not their fault. So leadership for women isn't about responsibility. Just like Six the Goddess said, it's about attention. It's about, hey, look at me. I'm a boss. Look at me. I got all this money. Hey, look at me. I'm telling these people what to do. Like a child. Just look at a typical negative situation a woman may be in. A flat tire, a relationship falling apart, getting fired from a job, or getting rolled up, or two best friends going at it. In virtually every scenario, she's going to blame somebody else. She's not going to blame her flat tire on her and say, you know what? I should have paid attention to the fact that my tires are bald. No, she's going to turn around and say, oh, what else can happen? Oh my God, what is happening to me? You know, the tire going flat is happening to you instead of the tire because the tire is bald. Then you take the tire to the shop and say, hey, something's wrong with this tire. And they say, well, ma'am, you need new tires. What does she do? You're trying to take advantage of a woman. What is wrong with you? This is the problem with you men. And the man is like, ma'am, your tires are bald. You're trying to take it. Forget it, lady. Forget it. Forget it. So a woman in almost every situation, she's never going to take responsibility for either what she did or for what other people did. Because I want you to think about it. Like I said, women don't take accountability or responsibility for their own wrongdoings. So how in the world can you expect a woman to take responsibility or accountability for what her crew of people or what her employees did? Have you, in your entire life, ever seen a woman take accountability and responsibility for things in her life going bad? Never. It's always a man. It's always the something or whoever. So there's two parts to this. One, women have a tendency to catastrophize and make every situation worse than it actually is and start falling all over the floor in order to get some attention so somebody can see her as a victim of the problem. And she's never going to take responsibility for her own actions, let alone a crew of people's actions. The second something goes wrong and her higher up comes in and says, all right, so what happened? He did it. She did it. See, leaders don't point at each other. They say, I did it. It's my problem and I'll fix it. I'll do everything I can to fix it. But a woman, she's going to start pointing or start catastrophizing. Oh my God, what else can happen? So I totally agree with Six the Goddess. Women are not equipped emotionally to have positions of hierarchy or simply just being over a crew of people. Because if you think about the typical single mother, look at your life just real quick. Look at your life. Did your mother totally traumatize you? Think about your upbringing. Yes or no? Did your mom blatantly traumatize you? Did your mom gaslight you? Did your mom make you feel like you're not enough? The reason why so many black people are so screwed up is because the majority of us have been raised by y'all. And y'all, according to everything that we've all seen in our communities, can't even raise children properly. And the second a child starts acting up, or second a child starts doing wrong, guess what? It's not even your fault. It's the daddy's fault because he left, or somebody else's fault. So if you can't even be a mother properly, how can you imagine being over a crew of people and having this hierarchy? You know, the typical black family is full of women. Black families are usually matriarchal. But when you look at black people compared to all other cultures, we're at the bottom of the barrel. Why? Because sadly, in most black families, there are women in leadership positions. And look at the state of black people now. So whether it comes to parenting, y'all aren't good leaders. When it comes to the camaraderie of getting along with people, you can't keep a man to save your life. You have that one best friend that's kind of like a little off a little bit, but any other woman on the entire planet, you don't get along with her. And then your own kids. You can't get along with your own kids. People that have came out of your own body, you can't get along with them. You run around hollering at them. Can't even help them with their homework without fussing at them. So no, from a leadership standpoint, women make the worst leaders. And that is an actual fact. Because like I said, your mother traumatized you. And most likely, you're traumatizing your own child right now. So please, ladies, sit down somewhere and leave the leadership to men. Because we don't need y'all traumatizing your workers like you traumatize your own children. So the number one thing you got to work on in order to prove that you're a leader is start focusing on the home first. Get your kids right. Get you a husband and figure that out first. And then look into trying to figure out some leadership or whatever. But other than that, sit down, find a husband, find you a leader. Because that's another thing. You're not really good at replacing leaders. You got a good man or you got a man or whatever and it don't work out, you can't find another good man to replace him. So that's another thing about a leadership role. If one of your employees or one of your people that are like right up under you, if they quit or they leave, you got to be able to find another one. A lot of y'all aren't really good judges of character and you don't listen to your intuition. Think about the type of men that you pick and have babies with. No requirements, no standards. You got fathers, children and stuff. So even with choosing a new person because the old person left, you're not even going to choose another subordinate that'll be right up under you. You know, you the supervisor and they're the manager or whatever. You're going to pick a terrible person because you pick terrible men to have children with. Ladies, sorry, but not sorry. Please stop trying to be leaders because y'all are literally in the way and y'all aren't even good leaders of your own children. So it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think.